Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again with another LEGO set review. This is set number 76153, Avengers Helicarrier. 1,244 pieces, retails for $120 in the US, where it released July 1st. This is the first minifigure, compatible Helicarrier that LEGO has ever made. So let's get into it by looking at the minifigures. You get 7 in this set, as well as 1 buildable one. Okay, so first we're going to look at Nick Fury. Now, this is the same minifigure that came in the Stark Jet and Drone Attack set from summer 2019 for Spider-Man Far From Home. So he is, technically MCU-based. It's nice to get another Nick Fury. He had only appeared in a couple of sets, one in 2013 and then the Giant Helicarrier in 2015. So it's nice to get one last year and then the same one this year. Those legs that he's using, that's a common leg print that they've been using since 2017, and then they just match torsos to it. And I really love that idea because the leg print looks great, and again, it's just a small thing that they can reuse a lot, but it allows so many more characters to have leg printing. They use it a lot in Harry Potter as well. But yeah, other than that, there's not really anything special about the figure. He just has the eye patch. The printing for that doesn't go all the way around the head, and then some creases on the back, and he has an Alien Conquest pistol. Here's Black Widow. I've talked about her in the Falcon and Black Widow team-up set review, so I'm not going to say a lot. Just know that I really like this figure. I love the more armored look on her, and obviously I have to love that arm printing. That is amazing, and I'm really glad that she's finally getting a higher level of detail. For her batons, I don't like this style. I feel like adding the stud on top just makes them look ridiculously thick, and I liked it a lot better in the Hulk helicopter rescue set, where they just use the wands plugged into the lightsaber handles with no stud to keep them in place, because the stud connection makes it stronger, but I think it just makes them look a lot worse and not as thin. And there's her alternate face, and again, this is the same Jyn Erso head that's been used on her since 2018. Here is the 2020 Thor minifigure. We did get him in a set in January. He is based off the video game design. I like this one a lot, actually. I like that he has that kind of thicker cape coming down onto his torso, and I like the torso printing. I think the lighter colored arms are a good look. And I really, really, really like the tan hair on him instead of the blonde. I've always thought the blonde was a bit off, and so I'm glad that he has tan here. And then you can see his back printing there, which is also very nice. And there's his alternate face, which is the same one that they've been using since the Ragnarok sets in 2017. Here's the Iron Man minifigure for 2020. In January, he was exclusive to a $10 Iron Man mech set, and now in the summer wave, he comes in every single set. So they're really overloading this figure. I think it's a little bit excessive because we don't need 7 copies of the same minifigure. Obviously, not everyone buys all the sets, but it would have been nice to get a different suit. They are giving us other suits with Rescue and Taser and Blazer, but it would have been nice to get a different main suit as well. Because again, having the same minifigure in 6 or 7 sets in 1 year is a bit excessive. That being said, it is a good minifigure. I really like the leg printing. Torso printing's not bad. This is based off of the game design. He's using the newer style helmet that doesn't open. And I don't love, you guys know, I don't love that helmet design in general. But on this figure, I feel like it makes his face look puffy and it doesn't look exactly right to me. And then around the back, you can see he does have some nice back printing. And the face that they're using on him is the same Tony Stark face that they've been using since the 2018 Avengers Infinity War sets, with the heads-up display printed on the front. And LEGO does include 2 cylinder pieces and the power blasts to make him look like he's flying and fighting. So here's War Machine with all of his stuff on. You can see he's using some power burst pieces and one of those mechanical hand pieces. He does have printed tiles on his back, for the boosters on his whatever back attachment. He's got a stud shooter here that can move like that and then also rotate, and you guys know how those work. Just shot myself. And then this is supposed to be a Gatling gun. It's just 3 roller skate pieces stacked on top of each other, so that's a very nice design. And then spinning around the back, you can see what it looks like from there. Here's the War Machine figure with all of that stuff removed. Brand new design for 2020. You can see that he has very nice torso printing and leg printing. He is using the newer style helmet with the flat face, no opening front, just like all of the other Iron Man suits in 2020. And I don't know, this helmet's supposed to be sleeker, but War Machine's a very bulky character. So while I don't hate it, I also just think it's a bit odd. But then again, as you guys know, I just don't like this helmet piece in general. I far prefer the opening helmet. I think it just looks so much better. And on the back, he does have some back printing. The head that they use is the same Rhodey head that they've been using since the Bricktober pack, and he does have a red heads-up display on the front right there. So that's it for War Machine. Now let's move on to Captain Marvel. All right, here's the new Captain Marvel minifigure for summer 2020. She appears in this set as well as the 4+ Wrath of Loki set. And I love this figure. She's using like a normal color blue instead of the darker blue of the MCU one. I really like her leg printing. Really glad that she has that because the MCU one didn't and was really lacking for it in my opinion. But obviously the star of the show is that brand new molded helmet and the hairpiece is separate. So how that works is that if you remove it, you can see she does have a normal face under there. So this piece is dual molded with white and red to get the white eyes, but still letting her have a normal head. And so it's like, I don't understand why they can't do something like this for Batman instead of having him wear like a sweatband in every single set that he's in. And I really like that they even like got those white eyes in there. And as I said, the mohawk is a separate piece, so you can just remove it. And it's just one of those pinhole connections. And you do get an extra mohawk in this set. So I wonder if they're going to try using this helmet for other things in the future. But again, I just think it looks really, really great on her head. And LEGO does include a hairpiece as well for her, which is very nice. Spinning her around to the back, you can see that she does have some back printing. And she does have an alternate face. And I do like this face quite a bit for her. I don't think it's new. I'm sure it's like reused from Star Wars or something, but I'm not sure who exactly it's reused from. But I think it works pretty well for her. And again, I just think that this is a great figure. And as you saw in the opening shot of the video, Captain Marvel and War Machine both use like the full set of Power Blast accessories, and LEGO gives them stands, which I love when they do this. They did this in an Aquaman set in like 2019, and I really, really love it when LEGO does this because like they just look amazing, like all outfitted up with all of those Power Blast pieces, and it really adds a nice feature if you're going to display the set. Here's the AIM agent of the set, same basic design as every other one, except this time he's got like a little bit of a built-up stud shooter. It's shooting out like, this is like a part from an accessory pack, just attached to like a couple of studs, and so it just shoots out like that. And then you can see he is different because he has a jetpack, and it's a smaller jetpack than some of the other ones that they give these agents. So he's using more of those accessory pack pieces, and then, you know, they're on mini ball joints, so you can just move it around however you want. And finally, here is the buildable MODOK. I love this thing. I think some people think it's a little bit ugly, but I think it's just really, really cute. You can see he has like little brick-built legs. He has these tiny little arms that go into like these Technic pins. And he has like one of those half-cylinder pieces that they use on buildable figures like Ant-Man and Ares. And that is printed, of course. Everything else is stickers, like these two are stickers. He does have stud shooters on the side using more of like those accessory packs. So all you have to do is like just grab him from the side and then shoot. It's not on here very stably, so I don't want him to fall over. But yeah, you can see he's fully built up. The hair on the top is made using like just some of those rounded pieces. And I really like how much gold there is around him. So yeah, I think that this thing is really adorable, and it's like, it's a pretty decent size. So like, I'll grab Black Widow for comparison. But you can see that's the size of him next to a minifigure. And, you know, he feels just like nice and like chunky in your hands, you know? And I really like this. I do think it's a little bit better than the last MODOK that they did, which was just like a minifigure with a giant head sitting in a chair. And I'm surprised to say that because I didn't think that I would like this better, and I actually do in person. So that's it for the minifigures. Let's move on to the small build of the set before getting to the actual Helicarrier itself. So this is a small build that you build before the rest of the Helicarrier. LEGO calls it a Quinjet, which, like, okay, I guess, but it's really, really tiny. You can see it's just got like these little like wings, and they can like move up and down a little bit, but they're just like a very awkward size. There's a little engine at the back. And I feel like they could have made this like a Quinjet if they just gave it bigger wings. I think like the core of it is good, but I think it would have been a lot better with just like slightly bigger wings. It's got like a 6 stud shooter at the front, which I guess I'll demonstrate. I don't want to lose all of these, but yeah, you know how stud shooters work. And inside, if you remove the cockpit, and they are using like that trans neon orange color scheme, which I do like. On the inside, there are 2 control like panels, and there's a place for a minifigure. So Black Widow just lies down in there, and then you can just put this cockpit back on. And another thing I absolutely love about this is that it's got a space to hold her batons. And I love it when LEGO includes clips to hang on to weapons, because I hate having nowhere to put weapons when I want to put minifigures in vehicles. So I really like that. And again, I think it's a really nice thing for play. It doesn't look the best, but I mean, it doesn't look bad either. It's just a chunky, awkward thing. But I feel like that describes a lot of LEGO stuff. And again, I don't think it's bad at all. All right, finally, we're getting to the main build of this set, which is the Helicarrier. And before we do anything else, I'm going to show you guys the main play feature, since it's going to happen as I move this thing around anyways. So the entire thing has wheels, and the wheels are connected to a complicated gearing system, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, rotates the fans as you move it. And so that's a very nice feature. I think it looks really awesome, and like it's great for play. Like if I was a kid and I had a set like this, I would have so much fun just pushing it around the floor and like watching those fans spin. So I think that that's a really great feature. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first, and now we can take a look at like the rest of the detail. All right, so starting up front, you can see you just have some Avengers logos and like some smaller wings. These cannons do move all around. These are like older style Lego cannons, but I think that they look really good. And I like getting them because they're not used in a lot of sets nowadays. You can see into the cockpit if I just lift that up right there. I like the way they built that. It's like upside down and pasted onto the front. And the turbine sections, they have these little flaps that can move up and down. I don't love that. I wish they had just built it out with pieces instead of sticking these trapezoid-like flags on the end. I think it looks a little bit awkward. And then the other thing that the turbines can do is you can actually angle all of them so they can be like pointing forward or pointing back. And again, the ones at the back do angle as well. So I think that that's a nice feature as well, but not entirely necessary. And the one thing I don't like about the design of the fans is that they really stick up. I think it's ridiculous how much they stick up, actually. I don't think this thing looks the best for display. It's definitely like decent for play, but like for adult collectors, I don't think they're going to want to display this. And part of that is like the fans stick up a ridiculous amount. You know, they should be where like where they're moving from, or where like the actual fans should be. So I really wish they had just made these like more brick built instead of using these giant flags at the end, and then found a way to set the fans in, because I think that would have made this look a lot better. So the actual runway has a decent amount of space, but again, I think it's ruined by this giant whatever turret in the middle. So you can move it up and down and spin it all around, and then it's like kind of an updated version of those Technic launchers. So if you hit this red button, it'll fire out with like amazing speed. So that's cool. But again, like the Helicarrier is supposed to be a large runway, and so I feel like having this thing in the middle kind of ruins that. Like I don't know why they couldn't have put it up here at this end instead of having this satellite dish thing that just broke off. Again, like just awkward design choices a little bit. And this also doesn't feel exactly like a Helicarrier because there's no second deck, and there's just like this big like open thing at the end. Like this isn't even closed. Like if this was closed, maybe it could like simulate a bridge, even though like the bridge is supposed to be inside. But again, I don't know, just awkward design choices. It's not a bad set at all, but like I said, it's just a little bit awkward. And then that big open space right there, right here, is where you can dock the Quinjet. So you can see it's got pieces on the bottom, and it just slots in right there. That doesn't look bad either, but it would have been nice to have something else to land as well, like if they had made another small flyer or a small flyer in another set so that you could land something up at the front too. Here's a look at the set from the back, and now here's where we're going to start getting more into like the interior features. So this is actually supposed to be a jail cell for MODOK. So you can lift this bar up, and there's a bunch of gears inside, which again, I don't love. And you can just see a lot of colors in there, like there's a lot of white, and then you can see all the gearing. I wish they had hidden it a little bit better. But you just take MODOK and then like try to shove him back in there. Make sure his feet are behind like the yellow caution line. He doesn't stick in with studs, he just sits there. But you can just lock him in there. And then these are supposed to be locks. So you just move that down, and then it's like you're not supposed to be able to open this, but if you just pull like with a little bit of force, it'll just open. So again, I think that locking mechanism could have been done a little bit better. That's kind of just my vibe with this set, honestly, is that it's a good set, but there are just a lot of little things that could have been done a bit better. And the only other usable space on this thing is up in the front. If you grab onto this hatch and you open it up, you can see inside, and there are 3 chairs and like a coffee mug. So you can fit 3 minifigures in there, but it's really hard to get them in. Like I'm gonna grab Nick Fury. Hard for adult fingers, at least. Probably easier for kids. But I mean, like, there's just a very small area, and then it's really hard to actually get him into a chair. So I'm not even going to try right now, actually. And then the only other thing up front that I hope you guys are going to be able to see is there's a sticker up on this windshield. So I hope that's visible. Like I said, it's really hard to get in here. And there's just like a lot of stuff in the way. Might be a little bit more visible from down here. But yeah, I mean, I like the detail of that sticker. Like you can kind of see it right there. But again, like that interior space is just very difficult to access. And there's no other interior space. The entire middle of this thing is just taken up with this system to do the play feature. And what I really don't like about that either is that if you tilt it up, you can just see all of these like disgusting colors in there, like the red, the white, the yellow, the green. And it's not covered by anything. It's just because there's just that grate there. And so I wish they had thought about that and made it look a little bit better, because if you look at this thing from the top when the Quinjet's not on it, it really doesn't look good. So again, that's just a little thing that I think could have been done better. All right, so here are all of the extra parts that you get in this set. You can see there's a teal brick separator, some extra shots for the stud shooters, but the more interesting pieces are stuff like this neck attachment for the aim agent, an extra printed tile for War Machine, that's pretty nice, extra power blast. One of the best extra pieces is actually an extra mohawk for Captain Marvel's helmet. There's her hairpiece as well. These are extra shots from MODOK and the aim agent stud shooters. This piece is from the same parts pack as those, and it just wasn't used in the set. And then this stack of yellow pieces, as you can see, they're just like these 1x2 plates with a rail. And these are what was used to like hold the helicarrier in place while building to make sure it wouldn't roll around. So I really like that, and I hope that LEGO does more stuff like that in the future, because it's like, it doesn't cost them much, and I don't know, it's just a nice thing for the building experience to have that. Here's the box for this set. It's like a typical $120 box size. It's got just like, you know, the 2020 thing with the Avengers, with the LEGO Avengers in the corner. And then if you spin it around, there's the back showing off the play features. Now, curiously, the back doesn't show the interior at all with those 3 seats. And I feel like they should have shown that on the box, because people would have, like, it would have been nice to know, I feel like, that there was an interior before buying the set. And here's the instruction manual. It's like the normal giant size for a set like this. And if you flip to the back, there's the parts inventory. And, oh, there are no advertisements. I thought that there were. But nope, there's nothing. So that's it for the instructions. So yeah, overall, like, I mean, I like this set more than I thought I would, having it in person. The build, while it doesn't look a lot like a helicarrier, I feel like it's not as ugly in person. Honestly, I disliked it a lot more in the pictures, but it's just very chaotic and messy, and I feel like that's not what a helicarrier should be like. Even just the color scheme, right, with the light gray, the dark gray, the blue, like the orange, it's just a lot, and the black, of course. And again, I feel like the look of the thing is marred by the giant turret and by that, like, tower section at the back that doesn't do anything. Like, it's just a cell for MODOK, but then, like, if it's a cell, why is there, like, no roof or anything? And then why is there just a satellite dish up there? Why not put the turret up there and then leave the runway clear, as a helicarrier's runway should be? The fans, again, I think they stick up too much. Like, it's cool that they can tilt back and forth, but I really would have preferred them to be, like, actually set into, like, the housings and still spin. And then the thing with the spinning feature is that it's really cool, but again, it takes up the entire, like, bulk of this ship, leaving barely any room to do anything. And while there's room for figures up front, you can barely get them inside. It's like a real difficult, like, it's a difficult task to get them in. And then the thing is with the mechanism is you can clearly see, like, the entire, like, mechanism with, like, the bright colors that don't fit the rest of the color scheme if you just look down. And those are all little things that are really dragging this set down. I would have preferred that, like, so maybe asking for a second deck I think is a little bit too much for a $120 minifigure compatible helicarrier set. But then take off the satellite dish and put the turret on there, and that would have been better. Like, maybe in one of the other sets they could have given us another flyer like this Quinjet, so that if you buy both you could dock a second vehicle on this ship. So yeah, overall I have serious problems with it. I think there's a lot of little things that could be done to make it better. I think that people could modify it and it would be a lot better. But it's still a good playset, and again, LEGO's for kids, so I think that kids will love this, because kids are not going to care as much as, like, we are about their about there not being an interior or something. Sorry about that, I'm feeling like a little bit sick this morning. But yeah, that's it for my review. I would say, like, if you're a huge Marvel collector, I still think it's worth getting, but just maybe find it at a bit of a discount. I feel like it's worth the $120 price given the size of it, but, like, there's so little that you can do with it that's what's dragging it down. So yeah, that's it for today's review. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys with my Harry Potter reviews starting soon. Bye for now.